I want you to read in Matthew chapter 8, verse 8, and Jesus was telling us about a specific situation that explains a lot in this world and gives us a lot of information about why things happen and what to do. So it's like a recipe, but we'll go into it in depth now. It says here that when Jesus reached a certain part in Jerusalem, he was met by a centurion. And the centurion told him, "Jesus, my servant is ill, and I would like you to come to my house and heal her." And Jesus said to him, "I will." And Jesus was told by the centurion when he was ready to go to the house of the centurion said to him, "Jesus, I am not worthy that thou should come unto me and my house." He said, "But I am also a man of authority like you. And if you look at the way that I do things, because I have authority, I say to my servants and my soldiers, 'Go,' and they go, and they do what I want them to do, and come, and they come. So I get these things accomplished, whatever it is I want." And he said, "Listen, Jesus, you can do the same thing. You can stay right here with me and say the word, and my servant will be healed." So Jesus did that, and his servant was healed. Now, the take-home message here is that just as in the physical realm, this centurion had the authority to get things accomplished by sending his servants to do the work for him, so too in the spiritual realm, Jesus was able to send his thoughts and his vibrations and his beliefs and his convictions and his healing powers, which is vibration and energy, to the worker of the centurion. And this Jesus did, and his worker, his servant, was healed. So we could do the same thing, because we are living in a world of energy. And whether you're living in the physical world or in the spiritual world, that is in the world of your mind and the spirit, instead of sending servants and soldiers in the physical world, in the spiritual world, you can close your eyes and send your thoughts, which are energy and vibration. And they go with this energy and vibration, and according to the thoughts that you send, you will accomplish what it is you want. And this is a very important message, for it tells us that we can do the same thing too, because we are using our mind. Now also, elsewhere in Matthew, we have an instance not in Matthew, in John chapter 5. He said, "Say not that the harvest is 4 months from today, but lift up your eyes and see the field, white or ready for harvesting. And this is another instance where we can use our imagination, use our visualization, and picture the thing that we want happening. And when we do that, we are sending our thoughts, our vibration, and energy to whatever it is and whoever it is that we want to heal. I find this very fascinating because so much can be accomplished through the science of the mind and the realm of the mind. So in the spiritual realm, we are using thoughts and vibrations and beliefs and fears and convictions and passions. And when we do that, we send the thought forward. While in the physical realm, we use people and soldiers and servants to do the work for us. So this take-home message is that we should use this visualization with our intent, intended to happen. And when we do that, we will accomplish it, for our thoughts are very powerful and can accomplish for us the things that we want. This takes us back into the science of the mind, the science of the soul, and the science of the heart. And if we were to practice it, we will see that it does work. And another instance, Jesus say, I give you 2 keys of the kingdom of heaven, that whatsoever you bind on earth is bound in heaven, and whatsoever you loose on earth is loosed in heaven. Now this means that in the 3 instances, we are existing on earth, but we have to do the initial work while we are here on earth, but we are using our mind, and by using our mind, we lift up our eyes and we see the thing that we want to happen on earth. Like he said, binding. You bind the thing that you want in your mind, and it is bound in heaven, in the mind, soul, and heart. And you stand on earth and you loose the things that you don't want, and it is loosed in heaven. And what happens when you do that? When you do that, what you bind on earth is bound in heaven, and what you bound in heaven is manifested for you back on earth in the form of a physical situation, a physical relationship, and a physical thing. And whatever you want to get rid of, bind it on earth, and it goes into your kingdom of heaven. And when it goes there, it is manifested for you in the physical realm, as a physical situation, as a physical thing, and as a physical relationship. So these 3 instances, and I want to review them. In the physical realm, we use people, physical situation, and physical things to accomplish things we want. And in the spiritual realm, we use thoughts like messengers. We use our visualization. We use the pictures we have in our mind to send to the kingdom of heaven. And the kingdom of heaven within us is the mind, soul, and heart. And when we do that good enough, and we get to learn how to do it, and do it fast, we will get instant healing, instant manifestation, and instant situations will come into our lives, and we can change anything that we want in this world. So Jesus gave us 3 instances where we can use the mind, and when we use the mind, we are able to accomplish everything in life. Now, if you look at the way you worry, the way you fear, you do the same thing. You are using the same recipe, only on the negative aspect, on the negative side. For when you worry, you think on the subject that you are worrying, and you get a fear in your mind and emotion. And then you begin to picture it happening. And then you begin to fear it so much that it is almost like an intent to have it. And then you act just like if it's going to happen. So, think about it, and you will see Jesus called it the kingdom of heaven, but he was really talking about your mind, your soul, and your heart. And don't forget that the husbandman, which Jesus spoke about in the parable of the vine dressers, and the one that Isaiah spoke about as the watchman, is the one who is to learn these principles and apply them while we are living here in the physical realm. So we can go at any point in time into the spiritual realm by lifting up our eyes and using our thoughts, our mind, our soul, and our heart. That's why he said, you must love God with your mind, soul, and heart. And Jesus also told us that it is not what you put in your mouth, which again is physical, that defiles you. For what you put in your mouth goes into your belly and then out into the draft. But he said, it is what comes out of your mouth. And what comes out of your mouth comes from your heart. And out of your heart come thoughts, words, your deeds, your very being, who you have become, issues in your life, and things in your life. So you see how much information that Jesus was giving about the kingdom of heaven. And I would like to say that the kingdom of heaven is about the mind. And as I told you before, you have 4 parts to this mind. The mind, the conscious mind, that is, the subconscious mind, the divine mind, and the ego mind. Now, the conscious mind is your personality self. The subconscious mind is the mind of the soul. Your divine mind is the mind of the spirit. And your ego mind is the mind of the ego. So, we were given these talents, and because of these talents, we have full autonomy and authority to command this world. And as Isaiah said, he said, concerning the works of my hand, command ye me. Isaiah is saying what God told him to say. So God is saying, if you want anything that you need in this life, command me. Now the language of command is really that you must put into your mind, soul, and heart a thought, or a belief, or a conviction, or a passion. Now a thought is energy and vibration. And if you add any emotion to it, it becomes a belief or a fear. And if you add more emotion to a belief or a fear, it becomes a conviction. And if you add more energy to a belief and a conviction, it becomes a passion. And you see how the thought is growing and becoming more and more and more powerful. And a passion takes control over you and your mind. And you can see people in this world who have passion about anything. They are controlled totally, and they manifest the thing that they have passion about, and they're consumed and by the passion and whatever the passion is focused on. So with these words and the take-home message, I would like you to think about the passages in the mind, why things happen.